Do you want to earn platinum in Warframe as fast and as easy as possible without spending any money? In this guide we will walk through some of the most efficient farming methods so you can finally afford that one special skin you have always dreamed of. Since platinum can only be obtained by purchasing directly from Warframe.com or in-game trading, we will start off with a method most of you are probably familiar with: relics and prime parts. Void relics are items we often get as mission rewards just for playing the game. We can use them to start up a Void Fisher mission in which we collect 10 reactant, crack the relic and receive a prime item at the end of the mission. As prime warframes, weapons and other items are usually in high demand among Warframe players to either increase their mastery rank or just for the ducat value alone, which we will come back to later, farming them makes a lot of sense. The most valuable prime items are unsurprisingly also the rarest, which brings us to our first specific strategy: Radshares. Here we will try to form a squad with 4 players in total, all running the same relic fully upgraded to Radiant. This means we use Void Traces, which you get after collecting all 10 reactant in a Void Fisher mission, so we can refine a relic from its default intake quality to Radiant. This reduces the relic's chance for common drops from 76 to only 50% and increases the chance of uncommon drops from 22 to 40 and for rare drops from 2 to 10%, which is 5 times higher than without refining. If now all 4 of our squad equip the same Radiant relic, we can even further increase this 10% chance. I will not go deeper into the calculation here, but with 4 of the same relic there is around a 34% chance for at least 1 gold drop. On average, you'll need about 3 Radshare runs, which is nearly 20 times faster than running solo with unrefined relics and even 4 times faster than doing Radiant runs alone. But not every rare prime item is worth the effort. In Warframe, supply and demand rule the market, which means that if a new prime item gets added to the game, a lot of players want to quickly obtain them for mastery, driving demand up. For the first few weeks, this increases the prices of these prime parts, making them a super efficient way to farm platinum. The vaulting system in Warframe also affects prices, because when prime items get put into the vault, their corresponding relics won't be farmable anymore. The longer they stay vaulted, the less supply there is, resulting in rising prices until they eventually get unvaulted and the price drops again. Keep in mind that selling in full sets, for example a specific prime Warframe's neuroptics, chassis, systems and blueprint, will usually yield high amounts of platinum because it reduces the amount of necessary trades for the buyer. But what if there is no fresh released prime access? We don't want to wait for the vaulting, or we are just bored by Void Fisher missions all over. Luckily, there are still plenty of options left. For example, Syndicate Items. Warframe's 6 main syndicates offer tradable augment mods and weapons. To level up our standing and unlock all trading options, we first need to pledge to a syndicate by interacting with the syndicate terminal in our orbiter. After that, 15% of our passively accumulated affinity while just playing the game will be converted to syndicate standing. To speed up this process, we can also actively farm daily syndicate alerts or trade syndicate medallions for standing, which are also found in set missions. Unfortunately, gaining standing has a cap of 16,000 per day, which is increased by 500 per mastery rank. This makes the process of leveling your syndicates and accumulating enough standing to buy our augment mods or weapons a rather slow process. But keep in mind that we can do this passively, meaning we can level our stuff, do quests, play some missions for Nightwave, etc., while at the same time gaining standing. So no matter how long it takes, we can eventually max out our standing and buy augment mods, which people always need, or faction-specific weapons that players often pick up for mastery and then sell those. At the current time of filming this video, augment mods usually go for around 10 to 15 platinum each and cost us 25,000 standing, while the more costly syndicate weapons sell for around 30 to 50 platinum while costing us 100 to 125,000 standing. This means that we could passively accumulate our maximum standing possible for each syndicate, and then when we need plat, simply grab 4 to 5 augment mods like Rhino's Ironclad Charge, sell each piece for 10 to 15 platinum and easily make between 40 to 75 platinum out of thin air. This not only works with our main syndicates, but also neutral ones, like Mastizenai on Cetus, who sells companion bond mods for around 20,000 standing, which you can then trade for 15 platinum each. Or one of my favorites, Cephalon Zemaris at the Relays, where you can buy mods like Health Conversion for 100,000 standing and sell them for 50 to 60 platinum. Of course, the prices vary, and this video is only a snapshot of the current state. But usually we can recall that the harder a syndicate standing is to farm, and the higher the demand for its tradable items are, the more platinum they are worth. If you don't want to forget any syndicate standing in your platinum farming, you can go to your in-game profile, click on the Syndicates tab, and there you will see every single syndicate, your current standing, and how much standing you have left until the daily reset. By the way, if this is helping you earn some extra platinum, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. Would mean a lot to me and really helps with the algorithm. Okay, earlier we talked about Ducats, remember? We can use those to do something called Baro flipping. Baroketeer the Void Trader arrives every 2 weeks, selling exclusive mods, weapons, cosmetics and more. We can buy those using ducats and credits. To get ducats, we have to access these consoles in relays and transform our prime items into them. But be careful, if we do so, they will be gone. You won't be able to get them back. Of course it makes sense here to just sell our common or maybe even some uncommon prime items that are worth around 15 to 45 ducats each. If our rare prime items are worth 100 ducats per piece, it makes more sense to sell those for platinum directly and then use that platinum to buy prime junk. Prime junk is just multiple common prime drops from relics bundled up together. So if you want to buy prime junk, you can for example post in trade chat and get some good offers, sometimes even for 10 to 15 plat for 10 common items. When we actively play Void Fisher missions and don't get any rare drops, but just prime junk items, we could either transform those to ducats for ourselves or also sell them bundled up as prime junk. If we now for example buy prime flow from Baro's offerings, we could immediately sell the mod again for probably around 50 platinum and get us a little profit. But we could also instead wait until Baro leaves. Here again, the longer he is gone, the lower the supply, because people keep buying the offers and without Baro selling them, the demand cannot be matched. So if we wait a few weeks or even months after Baro's visit, players who missed Baro's offerings at the time will pay extra platinum for it, often double or even triple the value we could get if we immediately sold after buying. But be careful, don't wait too long. If Baro eventually brings your purchased items back, the price drops again and the cycle starts over. I would recommend waiting around 1 to 2 months after Baro leaves and, if you want, to Baro flip to focus on popular stuff like primed mods or prisma weapons for mastery rank. Besides primed and augment mods, there are also rare or popular mods, which we could again farm and trade for platinum. Some of my favorite tactics are playing Nightwave missions and be rewarded with a Nightwave cred, then use those creds to buy popular aura mods like Deadeye, Corrosive Protection or Steel Charge from the cred offerings, waiting for the offerings to cycle and then sell them again for around 15 platinum each. While playing some Lua missions, doing the Ascension Challenge rooms, which award us with drift mods. Some of those, like Cunning Drift or Speed Drift, can also sell for around 10 to 15 platinum each. Corrupted mods from Orokin vaults, which are a little more luck based, because upon completion we get a random mod out of 24 possibilities. But if we happen to get something like Blind Rage or Vile Acceleration, we can again trade those for around 10 to 15 platinum. 60/60 mods, which are mods that give 60% of any status, as well as 60% status chance. Again, can sell for around 15 to 20 platinum, sometimes even more. If you happen to like Arbitration, these missions are also a good way to make some platinum, by farming 2025's Ascents and then trading them at the Arbiters of Hexes for a Galvanized mod. These also usually go for around 10 to 15 platinum. And last but not least, Nightmare missions. Because those have a very small chance to reward us with Blaze or the Hammershot mod, which only have a 1% drop chance but can go for between 50 to 150 platinum, making them some of the most expensive mods in the entire game. Another approach instead of, or in addition to farming mods, would be to use our own endo and credits to level mods, and then sell those leveled mods for way higher prices than the unleveled variants. This is best notable with mods that have a high possible rank number, like primed mods, or stuff like Heavy Caliber with 10 ranks in total. That approach usually costs us around 30 to 40,000 endo and 1 to 2 million credits, so if it's easier for you to just farm endo and credits all over, you don't have to hope for any luck with prime or mod drops. For experienced traders, Riven mods are also a suitable way to make a decent amount of platinum. If you happen to unveil a Riven mod for a popular weapon, or just buy a bad one and then reroll them for good and popular stats like critical damage, critical chance or multi-shot. If you sell at the right time, there is a lot of platinum to be made. This doesn't mean that your specific Riven will immediately be bought, but if you are patient, the Riven stats are good and the weapon popular enough, this can also be a very profitable option. but maybe you just like to farm for a specific item, like solving the Deviri Enigma All puzzles for Cinder sets, or defeating Kulevo in his arena over and over for router sets. Finally, let's talk about Arcane Enhancements. We can obtain them through Idle Enhance, buy some from the Quills or Voxolaris directly, get them as possible drops from Void Angels, Acolytes, Netracells, and so on. If we try to sell a maxed out Arcane, we need 10 copies for rank 3 Arcanes or 21 copies for rank 5 Arcanes. Some popular Arcanes already sell for a high amount of platinum, even if we only sell a single copy, like Arcane Energize or the currently brand new Arcane Hotshot. I personally would also recommend to look out for mods, weapons and arcanes that are tradable and event based, meaning that they are time limited. As soon as these events stop, you will most likely see the prices start to rise, and the longer you wait, the richer you can be. If I was able to help you refill your empty platinum pockets, and you found 1 or 2 new ways of farming free plat, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what your favorite method of farming platinum is, and if I missed any good ones, feel free to share them, consider subscribing for more guides and Warframe content, and I'll see you next time. Until then, Shalatino!